Hi.
Hi, hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you very much. How are you?
Very good, thanks, yeah.
I saw the movie just a couple of minutes ago, actually. I came from the cinema right into this interview, and I remember that there were a lot of stunts, a lot of fighting, a lot of jumping, a lot of explosions. Is there any scene that was the most traumatizing to you?
There really weren't any. The truth serum scene was tricky simply because Theo and I had a task at creating something that isn't in our present day reality, but also was so beautifully depicted in Veronica's novel. She described the physical, how it would feel physically and how it would feel emotionally so well that we wanted to ensure that we were able to do justice to her words and at the same time make it still feel human and real.
People are often afraid of new things, of things that they don't know, that they have never seen before. This is something that you can see in The Divergent too in the movies. Is there anything that scares you in your private life?
I wonder. I'm sure, yeah, but I can't think of anything specific. You? Maybe an example will help me.
Well, I'm still afraid of sharks. I have never met one, but...
That's true. Yes, I like sharks, like I'm kind of fascinated by them, but I wouldn't, I have a strange love-hate relationship with them, so that could be a good example.
That's totally my relationship to them too, because if they bite you, there's nothing you can do. They can swim down and they can come up. And
but they're incredible creatures, aren't they?
Yeah, they're beautiful, but I don't want to meet them.
I think we're all afraid of a lot of things. I don't think any of us are fearless, but if you really break down fear always sort of stems to death, right? Because if you're afraid of heights, it's because you're afraid you're gonna fall and die. If you're afraid of snakes, it's because a snake might bite you and that might hurt you and you might eventually die from that. And so I think regardless of what fear you may have, it always leads back to that one factor. So I don't think it's about being fearless, because I don't know that will ever go away in any human being. But I think it's about, in the face of fear, how do you react? Do you shy away from being uncomfortable, or do you face it headstrong and embrace it and learn to work with it?
Being an actress is not the most regular job. I mean, people scream your name all the time. They want to take pictures. You get recognized probably everywhere. What do you think is the biggest struggle for you as an actress?
I think the biggest struggle is people associating you as something other than just being a normal human. You know, once the label of actor or, God, celebrity or famous or any of those things become attached to your name, there all of a sudden becomes this thing of, I'm just human. Like, why? I was walking down the street the other day in LA at this like outdoor promenade, and this girl stopped me and she goes, "Why are you here?" And I was like, "Excuse me?" And she goes, "Why are you here?" And I was like, I'm getting a pair of leggings with my friend. Hi, it's nice to meet you. And I guess that for me was just this prime example of, it's easy to disassociate that we're all just humans and we all wake up with bad breath and we all have our issues and we have our shit. And regardless of what you do, nothing changes. There's no interlap between the way that I feel emotionally and the way you feel emotionally. It's just our stories that are different.
I think actually the biggest struggle is, nowadays with big social media content and a kind of awareness generally that you can engage in very quickly. The struggle is maintaining kind of, now celebrity and actor is kind of mushing into one, whereas I'm a firm believer in the fact that you can be an actor as your job and then go home and live a normal life and have your old friends that you've had for years and go to the pub and have a beer and do the normal stuff that you've done for years and years. So in a way, you kind of have to keep those strong relationships that you've had and because I think they're the most important things and they have the most longevity and they're the real relationships,
What was your best and your worst audition moment?
The best and the worst. I had a lot of bad auditions and a lot of good auditions. I can't actually, that's a great question, trying to think of which one I would recall as best or worst. I would say that no, I mean, I can't recall.
Nobody asked you to get naked. That would be a great thing.
No,
okay,
no.
that didn't happen.
No. God, that would never happen. I'd slap them if they said that. But somebody did ask me to make out with somebody in an audition once, and I remember thinking that was a little bit funky. I was like, excuse me? I was also like 14.
Yeah, oh God, I have some hilarious ones. You know, from you remember, it's funny, you remember there are lots, but yeah, you kind of, especially starting out, you know, as an actor, you have some hilarious auditions.
Did you have to get naked maybe at one audition?
Get naked? No, I've never had to get naked. That would be pornography. That was what I did before I was an actor. Oh. No, yeah, you kind of, in a funny way, you remember them, but then you also let them go immediately, you know, because you can't hang on to those kind of things.
Do you remember a movie you watched and you saw a scene with another actor and you were like, oh my God, it would be so great if I could have gotten the job?
In another movie?
Yeah.
Not so much, no. I don't think you think I'd love to kind of get that job, but you definitely watch performances and think that woman or man or girl or boy did an amazing job. And, you know, I don't know, from lots of things. I loved Birdman, Michael Keaton this year in Birdman. I thought he was awesome. I loved watching that to you know, so many films growing up, you know, watching Paul Newman and Brando, you know, those kind of performances where you're just blown away, you know.
Is it true that you really make your own toothpaste?
Yes.
How do you make it? I want to know the ingredients.
Well, it depends on what you're vibing. You could do like a baking soda version where it's baking soda and different essential oils, and that helps whiten your teeth. You could do a clay version, which you swallow instead of spitting out, and it helps bind to radioactive isotopes because it has a charge that absorbs those positive ions and helps move them through you. And so you could do clay, essential oils. You could even put baking soda in that a little bit. And you want to know everything? I mean, you could put some xylitol in there.